info spot 411 YouTube channel. Happy Halloween, everybody. All right, doing a little live stream here. It's Halloween. It's here. The kids went out and got some candy or watched some movies. I hope you all had some fun here on Halloween. I got some fun stuff to talk about here on Halloween night. The late night show. Here it is. I have in my description box everything we're going to go over tonight, as well as I'm going to do a tribute video for everybody here and my regulars that watch my live streams. But let me wish everyone a happy Halloween here first. All right. Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's Halloween, always fun, you know. Kids get candies, and I think I talked about it a couple was one of my previous live streams, all the different Halloween movies. You know, I've always been like the classics from when I was a kid, the Friday the 13th movies, the Halloween with Michael Myers, and I think my last or one of my previous live streams talked about the true story of the Amityville Horror. Well, we're going to go over about Poltergeist tonight, and they made a movie based off Poltergeist. Any rate, let me get into this here. What we have on tap here for the late night show, Halloween edition, you know it. 111-foot long Lego bridge breaks Guinness record at British Museum. And I got a picture of this. It's pretty cool. God's Island, thank you for coming. Blessed Girl Joe, thank you for coming. You're both in the tribute video for coming on my live. Happy Halloween. I'm just going over the stuff here for the late night show tonight, the topics, as well as we also have general conversation. And yes, again, I'm going to do a tribute video. Everybody's in here. You're going to get a nice little plug. I'm going to, do a tribute video, and I'm going to get a screenshot of your channel, put you guys in it. They do fairly well, my tribute videos. They do. Get some exposure. Any rate, what I have here. Oh, 8 need to know about Poltergeist just in time for Halloween. This is from the website, The Conversation. What this is, information about actual poltergeist from experts that have studied this stuff, parapsychologists, paranormal specialists, and some poltergeists have been documented. So, a little Halloween flavor topic. Unified Gaming. Thanks for coming, man. Just going over my stuff here for the late night show tonight. Got you in the tribute video. Yep. Okay. I had to talk about this. I think this was Tuesday or Wednesday. Happy Halloween. Thanks for coming. Yes. I had an issue at a McDonald's drive-thru. Oh, boy. A problem there. So it's something worth talking about. I'm going to talk about that. Oh, boy. Wait till you hear this one. Now, I know a lot of people here in America, and I don't do much of politics, but this isn't a Trump or Biden thing. A woman who is in labor, okay, get a load of this. A woman who is in labor on her way to the hospital tells her husband to stop so she could go vote. And then they want to hand her one of those like mail-in absentee ballots, say, hey, your vote will count, take this to the hospital with you, get out of here. You're in labor. This lady says, no, I'm not going anywhere until I get my vote and turn it in. Oh boy. I don't know what goes through some people's minds. Anyway, this is I thought I heard it all, but this story is something else. This is October 29th. We're talking about a woman who was in labor, had stopped and voted on the way to the hospital while she's in contractions. I kid you not. Oh, the show was not too late tonight. Okay. Well, I believe Mike for VP. Are you over in Africa? Was it Kenya or somewhere? Because I know you're in a different time zone than me. Right now, yeah, I'm going to get into the story. It's something else. Where I am, I'm out of Detroit, Michigan. I live just outside Detroit, Michigan. I work in Detroit. And I'm in Eastern Standard Time Zone here in the U.S., 10:55 p.m. where I am. Oh, Jamaica. Okay. Yeah, Jamaica. you're either 10:50 was the hour you're with my time zone or just behind me. I forget. It's one of the two down there in the Caribbean. Yes, I have a lot of great friends from Jamaica. Oh yes, great people on YouTube. Oh well, thank you. Thank you, Mike. And I do stop by your channel quite often and make sure I return the favor and watch your stuff. You got some good videos, some funny videos I watch too. A couple more things to go over real quick, everybody. And then I'm going to write down everyone here for the tribute video, and I'm going to start posting your channels so we can network with each other. But first, let me finish this up. I'll get over my concern about this. I just came across this news story from the Associated Press. Oregon, the state of Oregon here in the United States could become the first state to decriminalize hard drugs. Talking heroin, cocaine, LSD. Now, it's not going to be completely legal, but what they're going to do is if you're caught with these drugs in a small amount, you basically get like a ticket or a fine. I'll go over this news story here, and I'll talk about my concern with it, just something to discuss here. I found this real interesting. Now, I don't do much of politics, but this isn't so much about Democrats, Republicans, and so forth. This is just a bill. So I said, this is something that we could talk about. People find interesting. Really scary movie. Sure, yeah, Poltergeist. Yep, we're gonna get into it. You know it. Just a couple more things on tap here. Colorado man, get ready for this. Another Guinness World Record I found out. A Colorado man sets a world record for running a mile while pushing a stroller with a kid in it. I kid you not. There is a Guinness World Record for running a mile having a baby strapped in a stroller. There's some really oddball Guinness World Records. Well, I got a picture of this, and then I'll read about it. So, a few other things to talk about. I'll be adding a automotive playlist to my channel, and I'll tell you why on that. One thing I did this week, I ordered some business cards for my YouTube channel, actual like paper business cards. And reason I bring this up is I feel there still is a need for it. It's very old school business cards, but there's still situations where having your YouTube channel, a business card for a YouTube channel, is a good thing to have. And I'm going to go over a few reasons why. And then I'll talk about my next video. I'll have the tribute video tomorrow I'm going to drop, but I'm going to talk about my next video probably Monday night. I'm going to drop it. Last up, a large Burmese python is found under the hood of a car in Florida, and I got a picture of this. These Burmese pythons are not native to the state of Florida. They were basically brought in years ago. People had them illegally as pets, and they got loose. I got a picture of this. You're gonna want to see this real weird news story. Let me get to the chat here. Welcome everybody. I'm gonna drop your links. We're going to network with each other. I'm going to get your channels for the YouTube tribute video I'm going to do. You're in it. And then we'll get rocking and rolling here with the topics. I'll start off with this new Guinness record on the Lego bridge. Pretty cool. All right. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Oh, my friend Jonathan from the Philippines. Thank you for coming. God's Island, Poltergeist. Yes, it was. That's one of those classics, Poltergeist. And the other one I talked about on my previous live was the Amityville Horror. And that was based off a true story, that movie. And Poltergeist, the first one, wow. Yeah, that was, they're here. And then they did the sequel. She picked up the phone and she turns her head, the little girl, she goes, they're back. There's also, too, some controversy on that real quick with the Poltergeist movie. Now, I'm going to be talking about real poltergeist and what information the experts have on this and what's said about it. But with the movie, a lot of these, the actresses and actors who played in that movie died shortly after doing them. And what was it? The older sister from the first movie, she was killed by a boyfriend, a domestic violence incident. And it was a very weird, I think it was like a heart attack that the young girl had, or stroke or something. I was reading about this, how these some of the people connected with this movie and how they had these sudden deaths. And then there's a lot of conspiracy. Was it something evil? You know. Anyway, okay, let me do this. Everyone, let me start dropping your channels, and we're going to get into some fun conversation, and I'm going to get you on my list here for the tribute video. All right, Blessed Girl Joe, I'll start with you. This way we can network with each other. And some of you a lot of you watched my previous lives, and I always preach this. I don't believe in sub for sub. It's not good. I believe in genuine networking, and it's easy. It's 3 things. Subscribe to someone else's channel. Watch one of their videos in full. You know, find like a 10-minute video, a 7-8-minute video. Watch it in full. Third thing, give them a like and a nice comment, and they will return the favor. That's genuine networking. Just subscribing to someone and never watching their content doesn't help them out that much. So I always preach for genuine networking here on my channel. And I'm going to do my part here real quick. I'm going to do some channel drops, make it easier for everybody. Yep. Okay, Mike 4VP, my friend from Jamaica. I got you next. So bear with me just for a few minutes here, everybody. We'll get into the topics and the fun stuff to talk about for the late night show. I just want to get everything kick-started here, doing some channel drops for everyone so we can network with each other and help build each other's channels up. Copy. Okay. Paste. Boom. All right. God's Island. Let me get you. Actually, I like it. It's the Friday the 13th movie. Now, I love the first 4 Friday the 13th movies, God's Island, by the way, the original 4. Then after that, it just got really, really stupid. The second one where he had that potato sack over his head and he chased the girl through the woods into that shack was such a great scene. And then the third one where he got the hockey mask and he was in the barn. Yeah, the first 4 I really, really like with the Friday the 13th series. But then again, it became a money grab in the late 80s into the 90s, and it just got dumb. The first few, same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. The first 2 or 3 were good, then it just got stupid after that. Okay, Mike 4. Oh, Jonathan. Okay, let me get you, Jonathan, a channel drop. Here's my friend from the Philippines. He does a lot of singing on his channel, as well as he does the networking too, and he'll help out small YouTubers. You come over on his channel, believe me, he will try to help you grow as well. Really good friend of mine here from the Philippines. Okay. Got you, Jonathan. And Unified Gaming, I got you. Now, Unified Gaming, I believe, is it Ireland or England where you're at, if I'm not mistaken? And Unified Gaming, he's got a lot of cool gaming vids to watch. Even if gaming is not quite your thing, he's got some fun stuff to watch. Good person to network with, for sure. Filter channel. Okay. Unified Gaming. Okay, here we go. Unified Gaming. I know it was a lot of soccer. Yeah, a lot of soccer that you got. Or actually, I think they call it football in a lot of places. In the U.S., we refer to it as soccer because we have an American football sport. But outside the United States, they refer to it as football. But some cool stuff there. Copy. Unified Gaming, I got you. Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, let me just get all these channel drops done. I think I'm just about done here. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. God's Island, Mike 4VP. Okay, I think I got everybody that's here with the channel drops. Let me put you on my list real quick for the tribute video, because I'll do that tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. God's Island. God's Island has a lot of really nice videos. I love some of the videos around the beaches and the water. Just cool. Okay, Mike 4VP. I'm putting everybody, I do a little old school. I put it on a sheet of paper here. This is for the tribute video. So I'll help promote your channel. I'll get that tribute video out tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Unified Gaming. Okay. Oh, and then my friend Jonathan from the Philippines. I got you. Aponio. Okay, who else do I have to get here? Oh, welcome, Tina. Welcome, Tina. I'm just taking notes right now for the tribute video. Let me put you in here and get your channel drop real quick. We're about to get into the topics here for our little Halloween special live tonight. Vlog. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 in here. Who else do I have to get here? Jonathan, Mike Ford, VP, God's Island. Oh, Blessed Girl Joe. That's right. Blessed. Girl Joe. Two, three, four, 5. Okay, I got 6 here. Okay. All right. Let me put my list down. Let me get a channel drop from my friend Tina. Tina is Christina Vlogs. She does some vlogs as well. She does some really nice videos from cooking and other things. She did a great video with this new gadget. Like if you have an apartment or even a house that it's a clothes washer dryer and you don't have to have the big electrical hookup or the spout for it. It's a really small unit. It's really neat. You got to check it out. But she's got some really cool stuff on her channel. Good, genuine YouTube channel, friend of mine, Christina Vlog. All right, here we go. Here we go. Copy. Okay. I got you, Tina. Here you are. Okay. Let's get into it. It is a late night show. Oh, you are? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know, a lot of apartments that you get the extra closet space, but they don't have the hookup for like even a stackable washer dryer. And another thing I found out that some people did some videos on that, Tina, which I didn't think of, which is actually that thing's great for people that have those trailers and RVs. They go out camping and whatnot. You can take it with you. It works just as well. Hey, Bud's Backyard. Thanks. Let me put you in here. I'm about to get on the topics and give you a channel drop. Thank you for coming. My friend from Texas. All right. Bud's Backyard. Genuine YouTube channel. Friend of mine. He does all kinds of videos from showing the beaches around the Gulf of Mexico to gardening, all kinds of stuff. Cooking. Bud's Backyard. Okay, one more channel drop here. Copy. Okay, Bud, 1 second. I'm going to get you in here. And I'm going to put you in the tribute video as well, Bud. Bud's Backyard. Okay. Copy. All right. Bud, the big topic tonight, I have everything in my description box. Halloween. Happy Halloween. I'm going to talk about an interesting story here on Poltergeist. Not just the movie, but actual information on real poltergeist. Raul, thank you for coming. I'm going to put a note here for the tribute video. Okay, let me get a sip of my Red Bull. Let's get into some topics here and some fun stuff to talk about. Yeah. Yep. The movie is sort of based off Poltergeist, but the actual story isn't. Where the Amityville Horror, which I talked about in a previous live, that's based off an actual story of the people that were killed in the house and the people that moved in shortly after and what happened. But anyway, I got a couple. Oh, I have one story here first, and then we'll get into the Poltergeist. This is kind of a fun news story I came across again from the United Press International website, October 28th. A 111-foot Lego bridge breaks the Guinness World Record at a British museum. A British museum earned a Guinness World Record when 205,000 Lego bricks were assembled into a bridge spanning 111 feet, 6 inches long, with an unsupported span of 55 feet by 11 inches. I got a picture of this. This thing is huge. The Iron Bridge George Museums teamed up with the Institute of Civil Engineers to construct the massive Lego bridge. The bridge broke a Guinness record with a single span measuring 55 feet 11 inches between supports. The previous record, 55 feet and 5.64 inches, was set by an ice team in 2016. We are delighted that our record-breaking attempt has now been verified by the Guinness World Records, Joe Barnett. We wanted to attract and inspire children considering engineering as a fun potential career, and also partner with local organization that shares our values and vision. So that's pretty cool. It's to get to reach and get across to the youth, and maybe inspire them to take an interest in engineering. That's a good thing. All right, let me show you the picture of this. This is from the United Press International, October 28th. Let me bring this up back a little bit, and I got my little pin. But this is inside, indoors. It looks like the Golden Gate Bridge or the Mackinac Bridge or the one in New York where Tina lives, New York City. They have a couple big ones there. But yeah, this is all Legos here that they did here, and it set a record. I think that's pretty cool. Laugh out loud. Yeah. So I'll hold this up for a few seconds. Now I don't have the photo paper. If you're interested, I can get the news story. I'll pull up the news story and I'll drop it in the chat here if anybody's interested and wants to check it out from the UPI. I'll do that here real quick in a second. Let me just hold this back. But yeah, you could see that this thing, it's indoors, but it's pretty massive. The Legos, you had a lot of Legos to get used. And I believe there's a lot of engineering in that, as small as it is, because how you have to balance the weight of those things. And then when putting it together, one part you don't put up before the other part and that. So yeah, I think that's a great thing for the kids. Great news story. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put the news story here in the chat for everyone. Okay, bear with me 1 second as I pull up the link. Alrighty. Where are we here? I just saw this last night. Let me see if I'm on the web page here. I just got to find it. They might have it backed up. Come on. Where are you? Let me type it in this way. Where am I here? 1 second. Lego. Lego. All right. Let's see what we got here. That's a YouTube video of it. No. Wow. I'm trying to find this. Let me go back here and go backtrack. I just pulled this up last night, this news story. Now it's not showing on here. 7 back. Let me put this in. Okay, here we go. I got it. All right. Sorry about the delay. Okay, let me check the chat. I'm going to drop the link in here if anybody wants to check it out. Okay. Hi, Raw, Mike 4PVT. We have a rainy season in Jamaica. Glad you're good. Okay, how you know? All right. Let me get a sip of my Red Bull here. And this is from the Conversation the conversation.com website. 8 things you need to know about poltergeists just in time for Halloween. This was from October 26, 2017. So fairly recent. I was able to stop by and watch a few minutes a night, but I'm heading to bed. Oh, okay, Garning. All right, let me put you on for the tribute video. I'm going to get your channel on there. We're going to talk about poltergeist. So if you got 10 minutes here to stick and stay, and then help build your channel up. I have some channel drops in here. Check out some of these channels. And gardening, all you do is just subscribe to somebody else, watch one of their videos in full, drop a like and a comment, and then they'll come and return the favor. Help build your channel up. And then I'll put your channel drop in here. So when you see some new people, you know the deal. They'll comment and watch your video, return the favor. Is you come on my channel very often, and I like your stuff. Let me get this real quick, and we'll get into poltergeist here. My friend, he does great videos, lots of information and tips, whether you want to grow vegetables or flowers, anything from soil, what to do when it comes to gardening in your backyard. Okay, let me get you in here. 1 second. I'll do your channel drop. And I believe he's in Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. Copy. Okay, there you go. All right, let me get a sip of my Red Bull. It is Halloween night. We're going to get into some fun Halloween talk here. Oh, you're more than welcome. Oh, Delaware. Okay. Oh, that's right. What's his name? Our other friend where he does the gardening. He's in Iowa. Okay, here we go. 8 things you need to know about poltergeist just in time for Halloween. All right, here we are. Halloween is a time of year when interest in paranormal peaks and people celebrate all things supernatural. This is from the article here. Of particular fascination are stories and tales of ghosts and ghouls and poltergeist. That's what we're going to talk about here, poltergeist. The term poltergeist comes from combining of the two German words poltern, means crash, and Geist, spirit or ghost. So in other words, a noisy and unruly ghost or spirit. Although less common than traditional hauntings, reports of poltergeist actively dates back to the 1st century. In modern times, the paranormal has generated several major films and TV programs. Yep, going back to the 80s, the Poltergeist movie. Okay. All right. So with this in mind, here are the 8 most important things you should know about poltergeist. I'm telling you, Tina, I saw the video about 12 cows getting washed away. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yes. AJ gardening. Yep. AJ. Yep. Our friend from Iowa. All right. Number 1 here. Psychologists can't agree on what they are. I found this interesting. So, some parapsychologists view poltergeist as a type of ghost or supernatural entity which are responsible for psychological and physical disturbance. Others believe that such activity originates from unknown energy associated with a living person or location. So that's interesting. All right. Number 2 here. 8. This again is 8 things you need to know about poltergeist just in time for Halloween. Oh, I plan to get my channels some car. Okay. Blessed girl, Joe. You go, girl. Number 2, poltergeists tend to prefer women to men. Now, I found this interesting, but this probably is true. You know, when they did the famous movie back in the 80s, it was a little girl. And I'm going to get right into that now here. A person-focused poltergeist tends to, but not always, involve a female who is suffering from emotional turmoil when the activity begins. That said, however, not all so-called focal agents are teenagers, meaning they're not it not necessarily poltergeist targets teenagers like in the movie, but it's saying it most of the poltergeists that have been reported majority of them have been towards women. That was interesting. Okay, number 3. Some of the best poltergeists, I don't know, best is the great word. I wouldn't want to be encountered with one, are thought to be fakes. So this is interesting. So a lot of them that are like well-renowned stories of a poltergeist, reported ones, are most likely known to be as fakes. Okay, but all right, let me read this one here. In 1967, at a lawyer's office in Germany, strange things started to happen in the presence of a 19-year-old secretary. Paintings and overhead lighting fittings, like lighting fixtures and paintings, started swinging, while faucet tubs unscrewed themselves and massive spikes in electrical activity occurred. The speaking clock was always called multiple times per minute. Furniture was moving. Now, this is kind of weird. Speaking clock. I'm not sure what they quite mean by that. Any rate, the police, utility company officials, what is this? Oh, psychologist and parapsychologist Hans Bender investigated without explanation. This is in 1967 in a lawyer's office in Germany. There was a reported poltergeist. And this is one, I guess, it's well known. But many believe it was a fake, all due to hidden nylon threads, especially given that the incident stopped when the people from the law firm left in early 1968. Okay, so apparently there was, I don't have too much more information, but to just sum this up, in 1967, in some lawyer's office in Germany, a well-documented poltergeist was there. But upon investigation, I guess they believe that it was faked. I don't know. Okay. So, interesting. Okay, number 4 here. Poltergeists like to mess with your stuff. Poltergeist activity typically starts with minor isolated incidents. This could include unexplained sounds or familiar objects such as your keys or phone moving from their usual place. But while poltergeist activity is typically short-lived, manifestations typically lasting around 5 months, some cases have persisted for several years. Wow. But it'd be kind of hard, in my opinion, because there's a lot of documented people that have had like haunted houses, where they say it's probably a spirit that's living there or something. And how do you know that there's just it might be some spirit or a haunted place that you're at, or is it an actual poltergeist? I'd have to really kind of dive into that. I'm just going off of this article here, 8 things you need to know about poltergeist just in time for Halloween. Okay, number 5. Experts are still undecided about the infield poltergeist. So this is another documented one. ENFIELD. This is over in the United Kingdom. I'll read about this one here. This is a well-documented poltergeist. Just asking to upload if the cow said yes. Okay, Mike for VP. One of the most famous poltergeist cases happened in the UK, involve the Hodgson, Hodgson, HODGSON family, the Hodgson family, and their newly occupied council house in Enfield, North London. I'm not quite sure what a council house is. I know in London, a lot of the houses, it's almost like what we have here in America with our condos and townhomes. Anyway, between 1977 and 1979, it was a scene of dynamic, voices. So that's like devilish voices, this place. Objects moving without explanation, levitation, and strange noises. Whoa, that's just like the movie. That is. Wow. Uh, that's like devilish voices, objects moving without explanation, levitation, and strange noises at this place in the UK from 77 to 79, the Hodgkinson family experienced. Okay, let me read the rest. Events focused on two teenage daughters, Margaret and Janet. Wow, okay. Several reliable witnesses observed paranormal. These witnesses included a police constable, a press photographer, and investigators from the Society for Psychology. Wow. Huh. While investigators did discover some evidence of pranks or fakery, it was believed that many of the poltergeist incidents were genuine. Wow, that's interesting. That was number 5. This, again, is the Hodgkinson family, and it was a house that they had in London that they lived in during 1977 to 1979. Now, if you want to look that up, HODGOSN family. Let me Google it and get a link and put it in the live chat. Oh, they're like public housing. Okay, Tina, thanks for the information. Give me 1 second and I'll finish reading this. But let me see if I could pull up this news story. Apparently, this is a big documented poltergeist over in London. Let me get the name of this. Okay. G. 1 second, everybody. G. Hodgson. Where am I? Okay. EIST. Okay, let me see what I pull up on Google on this. Oh, wow, it's right in Wikipedia. Woo, I'll get the Wikipedia link because I go to Wikipedia is very reputable for fact checking and getting information here. All right, here's the Wikipedia link on this poltergeist that we were just talking about, the Hodgkinson family one. I'm going to drop it right in here. Oh, it is Halloween, everybody. Here you go. There's the link to this poltergeist in London. That's one of the most well-documented ones, the Hodgkinson family. Okay, let me get a sip of Red Bull. We're moving on to number 4 here. All right. Number 4, poltergeists like to mess with your stuff. Okay, no, we already did that. Oh, this is the infield poltergeist, and I have the link dropped right in there, number 5. It's number 6 we're going on. I got all my paper stuff. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to keep everything organized here, one pile to the other. All right, number 6 that we're on, everyone, and I'll get to the chat here shortly. Some believe that emotional stress can cause activity. That's interesting. Some ghost hunters and paranormals propose that poltergeists are actually the emotions of troubled individuals built up during times of stress. That to me would be more like it's more in your mind, whether you're having delusions or some mental illness. Or, well, it's not saying mental illness, it's saying emotional stress can cause activity. I don't know, like, emotional stress causing the paranormal activity in the house, maybe within your own mind, I guess. That's all they have in the article, but that's what I'm assuming. And some people claim it might be some big emotional stress where they hear sounds or voices or they feel stuff is moving in their house. I don't know, but yeah, it says number 6, some believe that emotional stress can cause activity. Interesting. Okay, 2 more on here, and then I'm going to get to the chat. We'll talk about this a little bit. Others believe they are spirits of the dead. Now, that's interesting because the actual movie, if I'm not mistaken, they found out that the reason that house had that poltergeist, they attributed because the builder, the property company, built it on top of a Native American cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. It's been years since I watched the Poltergeist movie. Casper was a cool ghost. Yes, he was, buds. Oh, good night, gardening. Yes, good night. Yes, it's getting scary. You know what they say real quick, everybody? Truth is stranger than fiction. Truth can be much scarier than fiction, too. Yes, I would too. Oh, wow. I would too. I'll tell you a true ghost story that a friend of mine, one of his coworkers, experienced some type of spirit or something in his house, and I'll tell you about that, and I'll also talk about something else. But I'm going to wrap this up. Two more here to go. Okay, number 7. Others believe they are spirits of the dead. Here we are. Many people believe that the spirits of the dead are responsible for poltergeist activity. This is said to be because people who experience them perceive an underlying intelligence and meaningful communication with an otherworldly being. Wow. So that means people experience these poltergeists and reported it. They're basically communicating with another spirit, somebody's that's passed or they're gone, an unhuman being, a non-living person or spirit. So that's interesting. A little bit of the movie was like that. That one creepy lady that came in who had the rope in the Poltergeist movie. And I think part 2 had this one Native American guy, but they try to communicate with like the afterlife, I guess. Anyway, let me finish this. This view proposes that disembodied consciousness or the soul, survivors of bloodly of death, says bodily death, not bloodly, I'm sorry, bodily death. Wow, this view proposes that a disembodied consciousness or soul survives bodily death. But again, this is the article, but again, there also isn't compelling scientific evidence to support this view either. Well, here's the thing with that, with scientific evidence now, is a lot of this stuff, it's very hard to prove scientifically. For example, I did a live broadcast last July about the ghost stories at Gettysburg. Well, true documented stories. And some people have got some video footage, and I talked about that, but it's kind of hard to get a hypothesis and draw a scientific theory when you're talking stuff like this, whether it's a poltergeist, ghost, spirits, and whatnot. So, anyway. Number 8, the last one on here, but skeptics put a lot of it down is misinterpretation. That's people that are skeptical. I have a hard time pronouncing this word, but people that are like, this is just a bunch of nonsense, poltergeist. They don't believe in it. Anyway, misinterpretation is most likely to occur when people believe a place is haunted and they are looking for evidence to confirm this. In this way, a lot of poltergeist activity can actually be attributed to an occurrence participation of natural phenomenon. Misinterpretation is most likely to occur when people believe a place is haunted or they're looking for evidence to confirm this. I think there's some truth to that, but I'm not going to dismiss everything. Similar to like the UFO. Oh, Shane Kitchen, Jamaica, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Little Halloween topic here. We're wrapping up the poltergeist, talking not so much the movie, but 8 things you need to know about poltergeist, information about documented poltergeist. But here's my thoughts on number 8, everybody, and I'm going to get to the chat, is that, just similar to the UFO sightings and people that have documented it. Yeah, there's some people that in their mind they saw something or heard something. There's people that make up stuff, want to believe. But I also believe there's honest, genuine people. They have no reason to make something up, that they've experienced something, whether it's a spirit or a poltergeist in their house, or they've seen a UFO, an unidentified flying object, So I would not be a skeptic in that sense where I just dismiss every story concerning the poltergeist and say, nah, it's not real. These are all either attributed to people that have issues going on in their life, or someone's making up a story, or someone thinks they heard something. No, I I wouldn't dismiss everyone. Now, are there a lot of disingenuous stories out there, people who claim that they've experienced a poltergeist in their houses? Yeah. But anyway, I did put the Wikipedia link in the live chat right there about this infield poltergeist, well-documented one in London between 77 and 79 it is. Let me just go back and double check this. Yeah. This was the infield poltergeist. It's over in the United Kingdom, London, over in London between 1977 and 79. I got the Wikipedia link on the information on that one. Let me get a sip of Red Bull. It makes me think of something real quick before we move on. Well, my friend here, ANKITCHENJA. I'm going to put you in the tribute video. I'm going to do a quick thank you here for everyone who's here. You know, what it makes me think of, too, now this is just my warning to everybody in the chat. All right, do what you want to do. All I can do is just give my suggestion, my opinion. You know, that's it. Do not monkey around, mess around, play with those, if I'm saying it correctly, Ouija boards or Ouija boards, they call them. The Ouija boards or Ouija boards. What that is, if some of you people don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to give you some information here. Drop my pen. Sorry. Any rate, you're more than welcome. You know what? Let me get you a channel drop here. That Ouija or Ouija board, I think it's Ouija board. It's that board where it has the letters on it. And there's a little triangle, like with a piece of plastic that you could see through on it. And you move it around. And what the purpose of this quote unquote game is to channel spirits and other people non-living and to communicate with the dead. Well, it's been documented several times. Basically, a lot of times you reach out to demons and spirits and everything that's not good. So some people have an intention to speak to their lost uncle that who passed away 10 years ago with this Ouija board, but you end up channeling unwanted spirits and demons. And as a matter of fact, there's a YouTube video where people have done this on YouTube Live. I kid you not. And they got on that Ouija board and they said that this is all a hoax and blah, blah, blah. And apparently this has been documented a number of times. You ask a question like, hey, my great uncle Ralph, are you here with us tonight? And they move this little thing around the board and the thing will move on its own. That is creepy. But what happens a lot of times has been documented is that you're not speaking with your lost Uncle Ralph. You have some type of demon or spirit that you're channeling. And this YouTube video shows things that have happened. Like all of a sudden, this one video was so creepy. It still gives me chills thinking about it. They're trying to channel somebody or some spirit. And as they're doing it, this thing's moving on its own on the board. And then all of a sudden, like two or three doors, boom, 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 close in the room. And other times just sounds have appeared. But I just do what you will. I would not monkey around with those Ouija or Ouija boards, they call them. You know, nothing good comes out of that. Nothing. Little Halloween flavor, little Halloween talk here. You know what I want to say? I hope everybody's had a happy Halloween, whether you went to a party or you took the kids out trick-or-treating. I don't know with this virus, too many people went out trick-or-treating, watched some scary movies. Oh, yes, Tina. Yep. You know, one second. Yeah, if you look up on YouTube, like the problems with the Ouija or Ouija board, it's called. There's someone who did a video like 8 or 10 times something went horribly wrong on YouTube Live with this Ouija board deal. And now maybe I don't know what is genuine and real and what ones were faked. You know, that's hard to tell because you could close the door easily and doing it on video through trickery, easy video effects as well as strings and whatnot. But me personally, there's nothing good that comes out of it. Get me on a Monopoly board. Let's play Clue. Let's play Monopoly. Anything but that Ouija board. No. Yeah, I think there was some movies like that too. Let me get a drink of this again. I could talk for a while. I just get thirsty. That's all. What was I going to say? Oh, also with the Ouija boards was oh God, what was I was just thinking of something not to monkey around with too. Oh, you prefer chess? Yeah, chess is much better than playing with that Ouija board and trying to channel, spirits and demons, and nothing good comes out of that. I'll just put it to you that way. Nothing good comes out of that. But anyway, oh, that's what I meant to say. It's very similar to I have to research this, okay? So don't quote me on this, but I did read that the movie The Exorcist, when it was based off of, was a little boy, okay? And the boy had a gypsy babysitter, and the gypsy babysitter was into channeling demons and spirits in this board, and channeled some type of demon or spirit, and it got into that boy. Now, it is true. There, you can go all over YouTube. Now, what might be real and what some are fake, but their exorcisms do exist, and there are reverends and pastors and traditionally Catholic priests who still practice this, people that have had demons or spirits that possess them. A lot of them have done things to channel this, and they've had the exorcisms, and there's some really creepy ones on YouTube. But I do talking about this related to this Ouija or Ouija board. A story I read was that it was some lady was like a gypsy babysitter was with this kid, and then the kid got the exorcisms because, again, she was playing with that Ouija board and channeled some demons or spirits, and it got into the little kid. Mike, some little, oh yes, definitely exist. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me get one more sip, and I'm going to talk about, my McDonald's drive-through problem last Wednesday, October 28th. Okay. Let me just read. Okay. This is what happened. I'm going to tell you the problem that I incurred and what I did to resolve it. I go to McDonald's. I was on my way home from work. I wanted to get a 20-piece chicken McNugget with some mustards. And then I got a couple of hamburgers I ordered. I think I ordered 2 or 3 hamburgers, just a regular, I think they're $1 hamburger off the dollar meal. Yeah, to take home. And the burgers were for my brother. And then I was going to get the chicken McNuggets for me. So the lady, I get up to the drive-thru on the window, and they were kind of packed, lined up. And, gives me the total. I think it was around $10. So I get up to the first window, hand the money, give me the receipt, and get up to the second window where you get the food, I already paid. So first thing, opens the window. Oh, hello, sir. Can you pull up front and go park in one of the spaces there? We'll bring the food out to you. I ordered a 20-piece chicken McNugget, but usually those things are already in the tray at McDonald's, and they pull them out, put them in the thing. I still haven't tried their spicy nuggets. Were they good? I haven't tried the spicy nuggets earlier. I love the regular chicken McNuggets and what I get with the hot mustard. So at any rate, I'm like, okay, they're busy. I ordered 2 or 3 hamburgers and a 20-piece chicken McNugget. All right, so I pull up to the spot. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. 5 minutes go by, and one car pulls up next to me. Then the next car after that gets their food. Whoop. So the lady comes out and hits this car that was there before me. Then she has another bag. I think she's coming over to me. She goes to the car that was right behind me that pulled up. Now, maybe they just ordered something simple as a Big Mac and a Coke. I don't know. But anyway, gets their bag of food and had a small beverage with it. I'm like, thinking to myself, whoa, what's wrong with this picture? This is somebody who was behind me with the order. Now, maybe there was 2 drive-throughs, so maybe their order came in right at the same time as mine. I don't know. So I said, okay, they're getting theirs. Mine should be coming right out. No. This young lady goes back inside McDonald's, and then another 2 cars that pull up that window get their food. They don't have to park. Put it in their car. So by this time, I want to say it's around 10, 12 minutes. I said, what kind of crap is this? I get someone behind me getting their food who's parked next to me in the waiting spot. And then I got another 2 cars that got their food. And now it's like, and literally, I'm not exaggerating, 10 or 12 minutes. I said, enough's enough. I pulled my car around back into the drive-thru. I had to wait. I just simply said, the lady comes on, well, McDonald's, can I take your order? I says, no, you can't take my order, but I'd be more than happy to get a refund for the poor customer service you have. I have my receipt. Oh, okay, sir. So I get there, and then there's a young kid, but, might not be his fault. He's working the first window, just taking the money in the order. It's more, it might be the people up front that got something mixed up. And then I told him the whole situation, hand the receipt. I says, yep, I'll take my refund. Thank you. And some lady came back, must have been like the manager at the time, and they were doing this and that on the register, that computer screen, and gave me my money back. But I won't go back to that McDonald's. But the reason I'm kind of bringing this up, this is how I handle the situation. But I'm just curious if you guys, if anything you want to put in the chat, have had for the fast food, a really poor customer service, whether someone was extremely rude, they messed up your order. Yeah. Hey, Kicking It with Lynn, thank you for coming. Let me get you noted for the tribute video. So I'm just curious if any of you guys here, feel free, put it in the chat if you want. I'm sure you have experienced some really poor customer service, whether it's a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a restaurant. Or if you want to comment on my story and then how I handled it. I really wanted those chicken nuggets. I really did. But then after that, I just was in a state of mind of being so upset. Now, I controlled my emotions and didn't yell and scream and use the vulgar language, because that accomplishes nothing. What accomplishes something is the actions. The actions. And my action was, I'll take your refund. Your customer service stinks. That does happen sometimes. Now, that could happen that my order got skipped over. Because there is a thing I do see, Tina, you bring up a valid point. At those fast food places, they have the screen with the order numbers. And sometimes somebody might have cleared mine. They'll clear it. They'll be like, order 205 up. Big Mac and fries combo, and they'll hit it, and 205 clears. Somebody might have cleared mine before they got it. That could have happened. But after me, I waited 12 minutes, and all these other people are getting food. I said, oh, no. The heck with this. So I don't know. I never had it in McDonald's, but it could be. I have not gone back to Walmart since the incident. Okay, let me come up here, buds. Yeah, if somebody cleared, that's a wrap. Yep. Hey, family. Oh, Elliot Family is 7. Thank you. I'll put you in the video. I'm checking the chat here. When I was spending my money, I expect hot food and great service with a smile. You don't like your job well, you should definitely not be working fast food. That's true. Yeah, it may have been that to be. Yeah, now, Tina, that's true. It could have been a mistake there. But it's one of those things, you make a mistake like that, and that type of poor customer service, unless I'm starving to death, I'll take my money. And that's how I made my point. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Kicking It with Lynn brings up a great point too, is that, somebody could be having a real bad day. We're talking like a fast food place, or, it could be some employee that's got a terrible manager, but you got to keep in mind, it's the customers that keep you your job. Where does the money come in for that McDonald's store, the Wendy's, wherever they're at? So you never want to take it out on the customers. And That's true. You have to, even, let's say there's an issue with you and that shift manager. You got to hold it inside and wait till the end of the shift and speak to the shift manager or speak to the store manager who's over the shift manager, what your problem might be. But you never want to show your problem and take it out on the customers. They're there just to spend their money and get their food, Yeah. Okay. Kicking it with Lynn. Okay, I got you. I'm going to put you in the tribute video. Elliott, family of 7. Let me put you in here as well. The Elliott family of 7. Oh, real quick before I move on, talking about McDonald's, everybody. I don't know if you saw my community post. Eyes dry, just got to roll it. I put in my community post, Elliott family 7 commented, breaking news. McDonald's, I think it's December 2nd. I got it in there. It's on the Associated Press and CNN. They're bringing back the McRib sandwich, and they're going to be at all the locations. Yep, it's coming back to all the McDonald's locations. I believe it's December 2nd, the McRib sandwich. Because before then, I believe it was a seasonal thing, and as well as certain locations had McRib sandwiches and others didn't. So, oh yes, we've seen it. Oh yeah, okay, yep. Elliott family is 7. Let me give you a channel drop and same too, kicking it with Lynn and Shane's Kitchen. J.A., my friend from Jamaica. Get you a few channel drops before I move on. Elliott family of 7 does a lot of the mukbang videos and like food reviews, especially like new food products that come out at restaurants, fast food stuff. Oh, I already got, okay, I got Shane's Kitchen in there. Okay. Elliott family of 7 and kicking it with Lynn. Let me give you a channel drop here so we can network with each other. Okay, just doing a little quick cut and paste. All right. Elliott family of 7. Now, Elliott family of 7. Why should you watch his YouTube channel, everybody? Why? Because he's coming with that fire content every single day. That's his slogan he has on his channel. I love it when I see him and his family say that they're doing their food reviews and mukbang videos. Okay, who else did I didn't get? Kicking it with Lynn. I'm sorry. Kicking it with Lynn. I got you here. Good friend of mine. If you're not connected with Kicking It with Lynn, go over to her channel, subscribe. Again, watch one of her videos in full. Drop a like and a nice comment. Genuine YouTube channel and just a great person. Like Tina and Chain Kitchen, if I'm saying it correctly. My a friend from Jamaica, and Tina is in New York City. Yes, there you go. It's that fire content every single day. Wow, here we go. And I do that for a reason. I'm not exaggerating. A woman in labor having contractions stops to vote on her way to the hospital. Oh, some people. Servant David, thank you for coming. Let me put you in here. Our friend, yes, Servant David, good friend of mine, everybody. Genuine YouTube channel, good friend of mine, does live broadcasts, talks about different topics. Honest, blunt, genuine person, kind of like I am, and has a good sense of humor. Let me get a channel drop, and I'm going to get into the story here real quick. Donut Toys and Games, man, thank you for coming. Thank you. You come on a lot of my lives. I'm going to try to get everybody a channel drop so we can network with each other. So I'm going to do this real quick, and I'm going to get into the story here. Wow, this is kind of a crazy one. Copy, okay. Servant David, I got you. Donut Toys and Games. Thank you. Let me give you a channel drop so everybody can network with you. Donut Toys and Games, great YouTube channel. You're doing live broadcasts, videos. Believe me, he will come and help support your channel big time, as well as, go over his channel, subscribe, watch one of his videos, drop a like and comment. great channel to be friends with. Copy. Okay. All right, one more channel drop, and I'm going to get into this. I teased you guys long enough. Okay, here we go. I am doing good, David. Doing good. Okay, here we are. Woman in labor stops to vote in Florida on her way to the hospital. This is October 29, 2020. Let me get the link to this news story, and I'm going to read it here. I think I have it right in here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to put the news story in the, drop it in the chat here. And I'm going to read it right now. Copy. Okay. Okay, here's a news story as I read this. If you want to take a look at it or share it out on Facebook or your Twitter, you know. All right. A woman in labor and her husband stop on the way to a Florida hospital for the birth of their child so they could cast their vote. A woman in labor, meaning having contractions, about to have a kid. Her and her husband stop at a place to vote in Florida before they get to the hospital. Karen Gonzalez, an employee of the Orange County Supervisor of Elections, said she was processing voter ballots about 2:30 p.m. Tuesday when a man came in with his wife's driver's license. The man explained his wife was outside in the car and wanted to cast her vote. I go, we need her in here. And he basically told me that's going to be a problem because she refuses to go to the hospital until she votes. The man explained his wife was in labor and insisted on voting before going to the hospital. Karen Gonzalez said she initially took the mail-in ballot out to the woman, but she refused it. She said, no, I need to fill it out right now. Karen Gonzalez waited while the woman completed the ballot. Christ. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a little professional here, but some things just make you laugh. Stupid people. Okay. Oh, let me get it together here, everybody. So the woman in labor filled out the ballot while doing little controlled breathing. She told the local TV station. She admitted it was an unusual incident for election employees. You think? It was an odd situation, but she wanted to vote. And that was her right as an American citizen, Karen Gonzalez said. She said the grateful couple left after the woman cast her ballot. We want to facilitate every voter that is eligible to vote the right to vote no matter their circumstances. Oh, okay, yeah, you're about to have a kid. You need to get to the hospital. But wait, hold on, that voting. Make sure you get your vote in. No matter the situation, Karen Gonzalez said. I understand the importance of this election to some people. I gave her an I voted sticker. She said she's on her way to the hospital to have her baby. She was very happy that she got to vote. Stupid effing people. Oh, let me get it together here. Okay, here's the picture. A lady's having contractions, about to have a baby. Oh, no. I got to get my vote in. Oh, my God. I might have the baby in the car or parking lot. The baby might die. You know, a woman, there's so many issues that can happen when a woman is having birth. And two, the election official, this Karen Gonzalez, comes out and says, hey, here's a mail-in ballot. All you have to do is fill this out. Your husband could come back here later or tomorrow and turn it in, and we'll get your vote. Oh, no. I'm not worried about having birth right now in the car. I got to fill out this ballot right here and hand it to you. Whoa. We got to, what's the old saying? We got a problem, Houston? She better go to the hospital and put herself and the baby in danger. Yeah, you're right, Tina. Yes, you are. And I'm not making this up. I have the link right in my chat. You'll see it, WWUPI, which is for United Press International. Oh, Chatty Sporty, yeah. Hi, hello, thank you for coming. I'm gonna put you in the tribute video for being and happy Halloween. Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, that's cool. I love the Halloween emoji. Let me get you noted on my list here for the tribute video. Pretty. Okay, I got you for the tribute video. You're in here. See vlogs. Got you in here as well. Okay, but anyway, this news story here, right here, woman in labor stops the vote before going to the hospital. I put it right in there. But wow, that's just some crazy dumb stuff. What's popping is some people casting their ballot. We were just talking about a news story. Let me get it together for a second. Picture this. A lady's pregnant, having contractions, so her husband's taking her to the hospital, and she says, wait a minute, before we get to the hospital, I'm about to have birth with my child. It's more important I vote. Hello? So they stop at their voting place, their voting precinct, whether it's a school or church building, whatever, and she stops and she's filling out a voting ballot while she's doing controlled breathing and starting to have contractions. And on top of that, the lady says, here's a mail-in ballot. You can mail this in an account, or you can have your husband just bring it back to the voting place today or tomorrow. No, she's got to sit in the car while she's having contractions and fill out her voting ballot. I might have some, let me rephrase this. Let me slow down. I could have some empathy and understand if, let's say, it was election day and you fill it out now where your vote don't count and you're that passionate. I get that. This is October 29th. Election isn't until Tuesday. I don't know. Some people, wow, but they don't have to wait in line. What's pop? Yeah. That's the crazy thing about this too. Okay, she's going to the hospital and she might have to be in person to get her ballot. They came out and said, hey, here's a mail-in ballot. You can mail in or you could drop off. Your husband's there. You could just sign the damn thing and tell your husband, okay, vote for this person, this person, this person, and you could seal it up and take it there and get your vote counted. But no, you're having contractions in a parking lot filling out your voting ballot. Huh? Welcome back, David. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's poor decision making for sure. Let me get a sip. We'll move on to the next story here. Although I'm a Red Bull, I don't want to drink too much of that. I'll be up all night, and I got to work Sunday tomorrow. Yeah, well, Florida is a battleground state. I'm going to tell you. I'll take a break from this story here. We'll talk a little bit election, but I'm not going to get into Biden or Trump and this and that. I'll just talk about the election stuff. Florida is going to be like Michigan. It's going to be a battleground state. And I'll say this, all right? It's nothing to do that's partisan towards Biden or Trump. Because I am very well knowledge. I used to come on political talk shows on the internet about a year or so back. And I really, really grew tired of the politics, the bickering and the arguing. I'm more fact statistics. Anyway, just breaking off from the news story here for a second with this election story is that Florida is going to be a crucial state. It's going to come down to the election Tuesday, okay? And when you see this happen, you can say you heard it on InfoSpot 411 YouTube channel. All right. It comes down to the battleground states because it's an electoral college. We do not officially elect the president. I'll say that again and I'll explain it. And I did a video on this. We do not officially elect the president. The Electoral College does. All right. And with that being said, and I'll explain it real quick. It comes down to the battleground states. Florida is one. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, my home state of Michigan. And now it could be other states that get flipped red or blue. Like North Carolina's getting close. It could go to the Democrats. But Trump might be taking Minnesota, or I'll just say Republican. Give me 1 second. Let me change out my light here. Okay, hold on, everybody. I got a battery in this one light, and it's good for about an hour. Put a fresh one in. Oh, look. My Michigan State Spartans won today, by the way. We beat Michigan. Big upset win. I can talk about us happy. Okay, real quick, just explaining this. I did a video, I think it was last February or March, explaining the popular vote versus the Electoral College vote for the election and then a possible solution. But yeah, what it is that each state, what they do is the Electoral College, each state has a certain number of electoral votes. So, like, for example, Christina Vlog, she's in the state of New York. I believe New York is around 27 to 29 electoral votes. The more people that are in a state, the more electoral votes they get. And they do this so each state can get some type of representation in an election. Oh, C. Miller, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, man. Okay. C. Miller TV. I got you in here for the tribute video. I don't do much of politics, but I'm just talking about how the election itself works with the Electoral College or popular vote. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I just talked about a news story. I posted at C. Miller. A lady was pregnant on her way to the hospital, but she insisted she had to vote first. So she's filling out a voter's ballot in the car with her husband while she's having contractions. Oh, boy. Any rate, what you're going to see real quick on election night, and is that it'll be certain states, and I'll just tell you off the bat where they go and why the difference between a popular vote and electoral college. The state of New York is going blue. You could take that to the bank. All right. That's going Democrat, and you'll find your New England states are. Now, there's 2 states. This is a solution I brought up. There's 2 states where it's not winner take all. Whoever gets the majority of the votes in a state wins those electoral votes, except for the state of Maine and Nebraska. Now, what they have is a percentage. So the state of Maine has 4 electoral votes, and in 2016, Hillary Clinton got 3 and President Trump got 1. And this is a suggestion I brought up, is that we don't go to a popular vote, but what would be a good idea is to have all 50 states keep the Electoral College in place, but not a winner take all, is have it a percentage of the electoral votes. So like California is 54, 55 electoral votes. So even though the Democrat candidate might get the majority, the Republican can still fight and get a percentage, and same thing. But in order to be fair, it would have to be all 50 states. Otherwise, each party would try to manipulate this and try to grab certain states. The problem with the Electoral College, now this is the problem with it, because nothing's perfect. You're really, depending where you live, you're a disenfranchised voter. And I'll give you a great example. Take this to the bank. Let's say you're a Democrat and you live in Tennessee or the state of Indiana. It's going red. I'll just tell you that right now. It's going Republican. And same thing, if you're a Republican and you live in the state of New York or California, those 2 states are going blue because of the percentage of the vote that comes in those states. So what it does is they have already calculated Texas will go Republican. It's 35 electoral votes. You'll see Tuesday night. California, New York, that's where the Democrats, they get a big, huge lead. Boom. They grab that 27, 28 votes in New York, 54, 55 California. But where it balances out is the Republicans grab a lot of the rural area vote, like Idaho, Kansas, Nebraska, Georgia, Alabama. I think was it Georgia they were talking, that might go blue. But their information I've been reading too, Minnesota, it should go Democrat, but it could go Republican. But anyway, it gets down to these states that could go either way. Like they've always talked. Now, this has been, I forget how many years, whoever grabs Ohio usually wins the election. And this has been proven for like the past 20, 30 years. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's all true. You could have, let's say, Biden win Ohio and President Trump can still grab the election. If he grabs Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, go have Ohio all day, night long. But it's going to be those battleground states, and that's what's going to go late into the night. So anyway, what it is the reason they have the Electoral College, okay, and they do like so many electoral votes for each state. If you went to a popular vote, the problem lies with this. You would have 4 states and 2 major cities that would determine the president every 4 years. So like states of Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, New Mexico, Washington State, Michigan, Wisconsin, they wouldn't matter. And what does that mean? That means that the candidates, the active president, as well as who's running against the president, they would only campaign in those 4 states and 2 cities because the populace. If you went to popular vote, the outcome would be determined by the state of New York, California, Texas, and Florida, along with Chicago and DC. Everything else would not matter, period, end of story. So that's an important reason you have the Electoral College, is so that each state, is Arizona is it should go Republican. Arizona will probably go Republican. Big time Republican support out in Arizona. So, but you never know. There's always going to be something different. Just like I'll say the 2000 election, everybody's probably heard the story about the hanging chads, and when the all controversy, a lot of people voted who wanted to vote for Gore ended up voting for Ralph Nader because there was an issue with those punch ballots in Florida. But what doesn't get talked about was Bush in 2000, the Republicans flipped West Virginia, which went Democrat a number of times. So that was also important, those other states. But that's basically, to sum it up, I'm just not endorsing Trump or Biden, either one, and I keep to myself on that. But I'm just talking about, as you probably hear me, the Electoral College and popular vote, and just some better understanding what you're going to see on election night is that if you went to the straight popular vote, okay, that would be the problem, is the 4 states, New York, California, Texas, Florida, and the city of Chicago and Washington, D.C. would determine our president every 4 years. So that's the importance of the Electoral College. But what they do to balance this is, for example, the state of Maine has 4 electoral votes. In California is more people are in the state of California than the country of Canada. So that's why California gets 54 or 55 electoral votes are in California. And same with New York. With New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, and the populace that's in New York, the state of New York, there's a lot more electoral votes that are given to it. So that's the system they set up. It's not perfect. And what's misleading, though, and it's true, and I explained it in this video, but what the hell, I'm on the topic real quick, so I'll just talk about it now, is yes, it's true. We officially do not elect a president. It's the Electoral College that does this. But what's not told, people say this because they want the popular vote, they have an agenda. What they don't tell you is, take the state of, let's say, New York, okay? It's 27, 28 electoral votes. I'll just say 27 electoral votes. Okay, so let's say Biden and the Democrats grab New York, which they will. What it is those electorals, each electoral vote is one person who's considered an electoral, are chosen by the Democrat Party in New York. So when the state of New York, let's say, goes Democrat, the Democrat Party, they choose, if there's 27 electoral votes, 27 people are handpicked lifelong Democrats, okay? And their pick is the electorals who represent the Democrat Party in that vote. So good luck in trying to get an electoral voter who's a lifelong Democrat to go do a Republican vote. And same thing, let's flip it, the tables with the state of Tennessee. Tennessee's going Republican, end of story. I'll make a bet with anybody here to argue different on that. But Tennessee, the electorals, the same thing. Those electoral votes in Tennessee, I think it's like 11 or 12 or 9, but they're picked by the Republicans. So yeah, we officially do not elect the president. The president is officially elected in December. But what we elect is the electorals from the party who go vote. So it's very, very seldom that the vote's going to go the other way. But a lot of people will say this because their agenda of wanting to go to the popular vote. Nothing's perfect. Like I say, my solution to it real quick, and I'm going to get to the chat again, is that I would make it all 50 states, electoral college still in place, but not a winner-take-all system per percentage. And it would make the candidates fight even more and address issues of the different states. But let me get to the chat here, and then I'm going to get into this news story. Oregon becomes the first state to decriminalize hard drugs. Arizona, John McCain, yeah, bigger states get more. Yes and no, Christina. For example, Alaska only gets like 4 or 5, and they're the biggest state in the country, but they're populous, how many people live there. Because what it is what determines electoral vote is the census every 10 years. Right now, we have a census going on. And they always say, hey, make sure you get counted going to census. They go off those census numbers. So in general, yeah, like Texas, California, but like Alaska's huge, but not many people live there, so they don't get that many electoral votes. It goes off that populace. Yep. You know who would be a great president? Jack Nicholson, and yep, I voted for him. Oh, okay. The actor Jack Nicholson. Okay. Yep. I got to be careful because there's also Jack Nicklaus, the famous golfer. I'm learning a lot. Oh, you're welcome. I'm very well versed, and I don't know everything. I'll just be flat out to admit it, but I am well versed. Because I have a lot of interest with social science, history, and political science, which is politics. I just veer away from getting into political opinion stuff, whether we're talking pro-life or pro-choice or gun rights, gun control, or Trump or Biden. But I will talk politics and the exception, explaining a system and giving information out, and I'll give my opinion. I'm red, but I voted Oprah. She's okay. Oprah. Yeah, the population. David, you crazy. Yeah. Okay. Let me get a sip of my Snapple, and then I'm going to read this to you guys here. This deals with the election this Tuesday in the state of Oregon, and I'll voice my concern about it and what I like about it, what my concern is. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you again. No, let me put this in because saying thank you is not enough. I got to get a little more active. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Oh, it looks good. Yeah, I'm having right now, I finished my Red Bull Snapple raspberry tea. My 3 Snapples I like to drink is the apple, the fruit punch, and the raspberry iced tea. I got the raspberry iced tea. Oh, I like the lemon, too. I don't care for that peach, and there's another one I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, but Snapple. I love Snapple. All right, let me read this real quick, and then I want to get your guys' opinion on it. This is off the Associated Press just yesterday, October 30th. I saw this. Okay. In what would be the first in United States, possession of small amounts of heroin, cocaine, LSD, and other hard drugs could be decriminalized in the state of Oregon under the ballot measure that voters are deciding on in this Tuesday's election. And I'll get to the chat here for a second. Measure 110 is one of the most watched initiatives in Oregon because it would drastically change how the state's justice system treats people caught with amounts of hard drugs for personal use, meaning small amounts. Instead of being arrested, going to trial, and facing possible jail time, the users would have the option of paying $100 fines or attending new free addiction recovery centers That's if they're found with these hard drugs such as cocaine and heroin, LSD. I imagine methamphetamines are probably in there. Anyway, the centers would be funded by tax revenue from retail marijuana sales in the state that was the country's first to decriminalize marijuana possession. It may sound like a radical concept, even in one of the most progressive, that means like liberal, progressive, U.S. states, but countries including Portugal is right there with Spain. Portugal is a country in Europe right next to Spain. The Netherlands and Switzerland have already decriminalized possession of small amounts of hard drugs, according to the United Nations, which is true. Portugal's 2000 decriminalization, that means in the year 2000, they decriminalized hard drugs in Portugal, brought no surge in drug use. Interesting. So in the country of Portugal, when they decriminalized hard drugs, it didn't bring on more drug use by doing that in the year 2000. Drug deaths fell while the number of people treated for drug addiction in the country rose 20% from 2001 to 2008. And then stabilized in Portugal, officials have said. Okay, and I'm going to get to the chat in a second. Let me give my quick opinion / concern on this, okay? I look at this as a slippery slope. I'm not completely opposed to this. And what I've experienced in the state of Michigan was there's around 2005 or 6. I can still remember being approached in a parking lot just before the election. 2004, when it was that election of Bush versus John Kerry in the state of Michigan, I believe we had the initiative for the medical marijuana. And it wasn't passed then. It was some years later we did. But I never forget, a lady came up and was talking to me about it. She says, "Oh, well, our mission is not to have marijuana legal for everybody. Is what we want to do is make it available for the people that need it for medical purposes, that are in pain, and pain-killing medicine doesn't work, and physical therapy doesn't work, and it's been proven marijuana can relieve pain, and we want it just for medical purposes. This is what we're about, is our agenda." Well, lo and behold, it was some years later, the people in Michigan passed marijuana sales to be legal for people that could get a medical card, and you go to your doctor and they would fill out a form and they'd be turned in the state of Michigan and they would approve it, and you got a card to buy marijuana if you had a medical issue. And what I noticed is shortly thereafter, where I'm in Detroit, signs started popping up, "Get your medical marijuana card," and it got abused to the T. I mean, they got these doctors that in the clinics that would just sign this paperwork and say, "Oh, you have back problems? No problem." They write it down. "Yep, just pay $105 and I'll process your application." And people were getting these medical marijuana cards left and right. So what I mean by the slippery slope, that's what they told us, and they voted it through. But now everybody was getting it. Then what happens? I think it was 2017. We had our 2018, the midterm election. They just passed marijuana for legal sales for everybody in our state. So when all of a sudden we went to marijuana was just supposed to be for medical purposes, then it went to legal sales. But what I'm getting at real quick, wrapping my point up with the slippery slope, it won't be long. You start to say hard drugs can be accepted, but just in small amounts. What will be next? Next it will be like, it won't be a crime to have them on them. Right now, what they're doing is saying, okay, it's not legal in the state of Oregon if this gets passed to have cocaine or heroin or LSD, these hard drugs, you'll just get a ticket. But if this goes through, and my concern is 2 years from now, 4 years from now, or 6 years from now, they'll come out with another ballot making it perfectly legal to have these drugs in small amounts. And me personally, and it's just my opinion, I'm not in favor of these type of drugs being legalized, but it's just me and my opinion. Let me get to the chat, see what you guys have to say about it. Oh, please, David, you can't hurt flies' feelings, but you have some. It's a pleasure, info, always a pleasure until Okay, I'm going through the chat here through you guys' comments. Must you be talking? Most of that you talking rubbish. Wow, info. Yep. Houston ejects. Wow, buds. Okay. Is it? Are you having like if you had a few drinks tonight, buds? You actually do. That's what LSD, I believe, is. It's that type of drug that makes you hallucinate. You know, nothing good comes out of that. Me neither. Whatever happened to smoking alcohol? Yeah. Now, one thing I'm not completely opposed to in this measure, I try to look at things, through both perspectives, is I like this idea of treatment, because I do believe in America we have gone to, they refer to as a correctional system with the jails and that. I call it more incarceration system. And there's very little on rehabilitation and helping people. So the idea of this, what I like would be, instead of doing jail time, okay, someone caught with small amounts of drugs in the state of Oregon, I like this idea, okay, $100 fine, but I also like that they're mandatory rehabilitation, meaning like NA, Narcotics Anonymous. But that's one thing I would be in favor of no matter what state. Before putting someone in jail, and let's say they're hard drugs, is make mandatory rehabilitation and keep it ongoing for quite a while. And say, hey, we're not putting you in jail yet, but you're going to have to do mandatory rehabilitation. And don't get it on their record that, this arrest and make it quite a felony. I believe in trying to help people. It's adjusting their behavior. So I'm not opposed to that with this bill. But what I'm opposed to is the slippery slope. I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, that's my concern. What will be next if this passes? I'm not completely opposed to this, but I am concerned that this could lead to, okay, no fine. It'll be perfectly legal to have this certain amount of drugs. And I've seen this with the marijuana bills in a number of states, where we were told first it's for medical. Then all of a sudden, once a lot of states got the medical thing, then it became a lot of states pushed for it to be legal for everybody. So that'd be my concern. I would not want these drugs legal to everybody. Cocaine, heroin, LSD, methamphetamine. I'm heading to bed. Good night. Oh, thanks for coming, kicking it with Lynn. I appreciate it. I'm going to be on for a little longer. I got a few more things here to talk about. Anyway, I'll put this over here. Let me go through the comments here, everybody. If anybody has anything to say about that news story or what their concern might be with the with this measure and this vote. I don't say measure. It's being voted on in Oregon this Tuesday to decriminalize hard drugs. Now, it doesn't mean it's perfectly legal to have a small amount of cocaine or heroin on you. It just means if you're caught with it, you get basically a slap on the wrist. Here's a $100 ticket. And depending on, it could be possible rehabilitation. I mean, I think that would be like if you're caught a second or third time, then they make it mandatory rehabilitation. Wow, Channing, but excuse me, I had to get a little hydrate myself. Okay, here we go. Another kind of funny story. Colorado man sets world record for running a mile while pushing stroller. Let me get this news story for you guys. I think I got it up here. 1 second. I'm going to talk about this. I want to put this. This is from October 28th. I have this in here. Where is it? A few days old, but it should still be in here. No? Well, let me punch this in. 1 second. I'm going to put this in the chat here before I talk about it. Colorado. Okay. Okay, 1 second, everybody. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. I got it. All right, I'm getting it. Okay, go. Let me copy, cut, and paste this. All right, I'm going to put this news story real quick in the chat, everybody. Oh, wow, man. It's saying 272. This link is like, wow, this link goes on and on and on. It's not letting me put this website link in because it's so damn long. Wow. Here, what I'll do is this. This link is so long, it won't even let me insert it in here. So I'll just get the title of this. And then all you got about this, just put this in the Google search bar. You'll pull up the link to United Press International. Is one of these long links. Is so long it goes over the 200 limit. Anyway, there's the title. You put that in Google, you pull it up from the UPI, United Press International. Okay, anyway, let's get into this. New world record. All right, here we are. A Colorado man broke a Guinness World Record while he ran a mile in under 5 minutes while pushing his 1-year-old son in a stroller. Andrew Voss, 34 years old, of Broomfield, took to the track at Broomfield Heights Middle School while his son rode in the stroller in front of him. Voss said he became interested in the record after learning it was 5 minutes. I contacted, this is Voss now, a quote from him. Andrew Voss, I contacted the Guinness World Records and they alluded to it was 5 minutes. And I was like, that's doable, he told the TV station. Voss finished his single mile run with a time of 4 minutes and 57.1 seconds. So he came in 3 seconds faster than the previous world record, enough to take the record. It feels good. It was a good accomplishment, Voss said after his run. It'll be fun to look back and be there with a kid of mine, our youngest kid. So basically, he's going to look back and show his kid when his kid gets older. Here's a picture of it. Let me get my pen. Hold it back. Now, it's a little faded because I don't have the photo paper. But at any rate, this is his 1-year-old son strapped in the stroller and one arm's on it, and he's running. So he ran a mile pushing his baby in the stroller on a track in just under 5 minutes to set a Guinness World Record in Colorado. So I'm not opposed to, as long as it's safe. You know, if it's nothing that endangers the kid and it's strapped in a stroller and everything like that. I'm sure the guy's in top-notch shape like I used to be years ago when I was in the military running. But what I found kind of funny with this, and bizarre, they actually have a record that they put in for running around a track for a mile with your baby in a stroller. I mean, they got just some weird records. Whoever in the world thought of this? But let me get to the chat. Yeah, Servant David. That's why I don't drink. If there were clubs that were selling it, David. Oh, okay, you guys. What I don't understand is why someone goes up in flames we drink. Okay. All right. Anyway, I put it in there. The Colorado, let me slow down. The Colorado man set world record running a mile while pushing the baby in the stroller. All you gotta do is copy and then just put that in the Google search bar. You pull up this news story. It's from October 28th. I'm surprised. Let me double check. I got the page here from the UPI, but they update it every day, and I don't see it in here. Let me go. I'm looking. No, that stinks. Anyway, I got the link to this next one I'm going to get into. Oh, wait, hold on. A few things to talk about. I'm going to get into this Burmese python news story that's in the car in this picture. This snake is almost as big as a freaking anaconda. And I also want to talk about the problem with the Burmese, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Burmese pythons in Florida and why they're there and the problem they're causing. We'll get into that. But first, a couple things I want to talk about. This week, I did an order. Had some business cards made for my YouTube channel. I think it was like $14-15 I paid. And yeah, it's kind of old school, actual like paper business cards. But why it could be a good thing to have them made up. And then there's websites like God, it was uprint.com. I think I went through Zazzle. Vistaprint is another one that does them. And you could put the picture and the lettering, and they have the graphics. You can make your own card and design it, and they'll print them up and mail them to you. But here's where it comes important. Now I'm in a couple examples. I was in the junkyard. I did that video, did real well. Junkyard Haul with my friend. And I met some people, talked to them, and a lot of them came over curious. I had my tripod, my camera set up as my friend's pulling this engine out. And I spoke to a few people, say, yeah, I got a YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. And then some of them took out their one took out their cell phone, was like, what's the name of your channel? Said InfoSpot 411. Okay. Some of them said, oh, okay, I'll have to check that on YouTube. But this is where it comes in handy. And it's just another way of networking. It's old school, but it still has its place. If I'm out and about, which I do once in a while with some of my videos, and I got a business card, someone asked me, yeah, my YouTube channel, I'm doing this, that, and the other. Oh, here, sir, here, ma'am. I boom, just hand them the business card, and I have on there InfoSpot 411, product reviews, drink reviews, automotive, and live broadcast, and more. And then I got my email address, InfoSpot411 at yahoo.com. But wrapping this up, well, my point is, you're going to be out and about sometimes doing videos, and when you encounter people, hand them the business card. Another good reason to have a business card made up, you go film somewhere, okay? And it could be on private property. Now, a lot of time, not all the time, just because it's private property, they're going to tell you, oh, you can't film here. But some people might say, okay, what are you doing here? Who are you? So, you take a few minutes. Hey, I got a YouTube channel. I'm doing this, doing that. Oh, that's great. But if you have a business card, it puts people at ease, lets people know. So like you go somewhere, like for example, I did that video just this week. I went to the former Kmart World Headquarters building. Now I didn't go in, I walked around and I filmed the whole building and talked about what happened to Kmart. But if a security vehicle came up and then the economy say, hey, what are you doing here? Blah, blah. And I say, oh, I have a YouTube channel. I'm going around doing a little documentary video on Kmart and the building here. If I got a card, I could hand it to him, say, oh, okay, I see now. Yeah, you got a YouTube. That's why it, but it eases things. So if you're in a situation, but I'm just giving you examples where having a business card for your YouTube channel is a good thing, Now, a lot of it is we're modern technology. We don't use too much of business cards, but there are situations where if you do filming outside your house, your place, it's a great idea to have a business card, especially like you might go somewhere like, boy, I'd like to film this. And you go up and it's on a private property. You could ask one of the people, say, I got a YouTube channel. I'm doing such and such. Is it okay if I film here? Hand the business card, as well as people ask about your channel. So anyway, I had some business cards made for my YouTube channel. Those are some reasons why. And it wouldn't be a bad idea. If you go out and about and you film and do videos, get some business cards made up. It's not that expensive. I think I had 100 made up for like I said, $15 with the free shipping. I just briefly mentioned, I'll be doing it probably tomorrow or this week. I'm going to add to my playlist an automotive playlist because I have some automotive videos, quite a few. I've done car dealership browsing. I had an Autorama video where their classic car show. I'm doing some Junkyard Haul videos with a friend of mine, and I love cars and that. Oh, I did that one that did really well for my channel about the history of Cadillac. Any rate, long story short, I'm going to be adding a new playlist to my channel, Automotive, because I do some automotive videos here and there. So I'll have an automotive playlist. One more thing before my last news story here, everyone. My next video, I'll be doing the tribute video tomorrow, but my next big video post will be, I believe, Monday night. I'll be doing it Monday night, Tuesday morning. My Junkyard Haul number 2. I'm doing it. I've already filmed it. I'm just getting it edited. My next video will be a Junkyard Haul. I'll upload that this Monday night, Tuesday morning. There'll be another Junkyard Haul. My friend Brad, he gets a, what was it? Oh, it's a small V8 motor out of a Chevy van. It's a full-size Chevy van. I think it's a V8 4.8 liter motor. Pull it out of the crane. And then he also gets an exhaust from a Yukon Denali, I believe it was. He gets underneath this big Suburban or Yukon with the saw, and I videotape it, and he cuts out the exhaust and the muffler, and that pulls it out. And then also as a bonus in it, I have a junkyard walk where I walk around, but mostly what I show is old cars that you haven't seen in a while. Not necessarily like they're real expensive cars like Corvettes and Mustangs, but I film the Ford Probe, which was a big car back in the 90s, kind of different. If you remember the Chrysler LHS, that was a car that was the competition to the Cadillac and the Lincoln. And then I also show one of the cars where the airbags deployed. You know, when it gives you a look at, you know, if you ever get in a crash, where those airbags are and how they look when they deploy. A few other things, but I do a junkyard walk and I film some different unique stuff you'll find interesting. Anyway, this probably Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, I'll get it. My Junkyard Haul number 2 will be my next video after I do the tribute video tomorrow. Let me check the chat, and I got one more news story here about this Burmese python in Florida in the card, and I'm going to talk about that. Hip hop, hooray for him. Okay, info. I think you can do it now too. That's some kind of cool info for real. Okay, thanks, Servant David. Snakes, yep, info. Before you show snakes, do you have an emergency exit here? Or will I have to make one? No, you're just fine. You're just fine. There's no real snakes, just pictures. You're going to be okay, Servant David. We're going to talk about this. I got some pictures. I'm not going to be holding an actual snake. Let me get a sip of my Snapple. One more news story here, everyone. Okay. Large Burmese, if I'm saying this correctly, excuse me if I'm not, Burmese python was found under the hood of a car in Florida. And I got the picture to show you here. And let me grab this story. I did see the story here. Here it is. I'm going to put this in the link. You got to check this out. I'll show you the picture, but you got to see this story. Let me get the website link. Okay. Wait till you see this, Tina. And I want to talk about this. There is a serious note with these snakes and why they're in Florida and they don't belong there. Anyway, let me read this here real quick. There's a link to this. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, say that 5 times in a row, said officers were dispatched to Broward County. I believe that's where Miami is, Broward County, when a resident discovered a 10-foot Burmese python under the hood of their car. 10 feet Burmese python under the hood of their car. Not quite as long as the anaconda, but it's a long, big snake. The FWC, which is the Florida Wildlife Conservation Commission, said in his Facebook post that officers responded to the area to remove the large snake from under the hood of a blue Ford Mustang. The post included a video of the python, the invasive species in Florida, being removed from the engine of the compartment and safely captured. This is a success for native wildlife since pythons prey on native birds, mammals, and reptiles. Thanks to the citizen, that's my military talk, civilian. Thanks to the citizen who reported the python to us, the post said. Okay, here's a picture, and I'll talk about these snakes in Florida and why they're there and the problem they're really causing. If you can make this out, and I have the link where you could see the video of this. I put it right in the chat if you're interested, but this is a big snake all in this car. Now, this could cause a major problem. You start that car up the heat and kill this big old snake and got to get the thing out of there, let alone you don't even want to come near these things because they'll wrap around you and they could definitely do some damage, let alone kill you, these type of snakes. There was a story first before I get to Florida. As a matter of fact, I remember there was an old show wow, back in I think it was late 80s into the early 90s, called Rescue 911, and William Shatner was the host. He's the guy who played Captain Kirk. And they would do like these reenactments of true 911 calls for life or death. And one lady almost died. She was watching a house for her sister or sister-in-law. So anyway, they had this big ass python in one of these like aquarium tanks. And I guess it was like once a month they would feed this python. So she had a note to stop at this house. They were out of town for like a couple months. And in the refrigerator or freezer, they had like this dead rabbit. And they told her, all you got to do is just lift up the top of this aquarium and drop this rabbit in there, this dead rabbit, and close the lid on this aquarium. And then the python will come out and, devour this rabbit and eat. Well, unfortunately, what happened was, now this is like the late 80s or 90s, but a phone call came in and she would go through the answering machine. And if she was there, she'd answer the phone. So the phone rang just as she was about to drop this in there. So she turned around to get the phone and she grabs the phone, puts her arm in there to drop the rabbit. Well, this python was real hungry and wrapped around her arm and started to basically constrict. And they will cut off the circulation to an arm or a limb. And she could not get this python off. Luckily, what saved her life was she had her free arm with the phone. And she told whoever was on the phone, if I remember correctly, she hung up the phone and she held the phone with this while the snake was constricting around her arm, and she hit 911 and gave the address to the house and told them what was going on. So the fire department got there. Yeah, it was squeezing her arm, and it's basically your limbs. It'll just cut off the blood pressure, the blood flow, along your arm, the snake, because the snake took part of her arm as the food, this big python. And luckily, as she held the phone here, it wasn't a handheld. It was one of the old landline phones, with the cord. And when she hung up real quick, whoever called, she hit 911 and then gave the address right away and said, this is where we're at. And it was like about 8 or 10 minutes later, or a little less, fire department, police arrived and they got in the house. And luckily they got that snake off her. But they said if she wasn't able to reach for a phone, she could have died because she would have fell on the floor while that snake is wrapped around her. But the Burmese python, what's happened in Florida is they're not an indigenous species to that state. A lot of people brought in this snake as a pet years ago. And this dates back to like the 70s and 80s. While as hurricanes have passed through, these snakes have gotten loose. This is just one way they've gotten in the wildlife. And what's happened is when these snakes got so big, a lot of people irresponsibly would just take them out to the Florida Keys, to the Everglades, to around that, just like this Broward County, that southern Florida area, and release them into the wild. And what they have a major problem with now is these Burmese pythons, and this is all plenty of news stories on YouTube, they're fighting with crocodiles to live in these certain areas around Florida for food and whatnot. And sometimes not crocodiles, I'm sorry, alligators. Sometimes the alligators win and kill the python, and sometimes the pythons get the best of the alligators. But where they're wreaking havoc, they're not indigenous to that area of Florida. They're killing off other species, and they're breeding like crazy, and they're a very dangerous animal for people in there. And they're actually, state of Florida pays people, I think they can get anywhere up to like $200 or $500 per snake, depending on how big the snake is. And there's people that go out snake hunting for these pythons. And then when they catch, I had a news story, as a matter of fact, last week, the week before in Florida, someone caught a record python, Burmese python, as a matter of fact. I think it was last week I talked about it. But at any rate, not going off topic real quick. So they go out and they go hunting for these damn snakes, because the state of Florida, the Fish and Wildlife Conservation, or they're like DNR, Department of Natural Resources, they know that these snakes are wreaking havoc. all over. And what's happened too is people have had these things years and brought them in illegally as pets. Some of these wildlife centers have got them. And they're like, okay, rather than kill the snake, we could keep it in captivity. It won't threaten I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to say, the wildlife, the area of the Everglades and whatnot, having these snakes, they put them in captivity. However, some of these wildlife center buildings have been hit by these hurricanes. Whoosh, snakes go out, as well as people just getting them illegally. And then when they get too damn big, they release them into the wild. Say, oh, nobody's living over here, but they don't know they really wreak havoc on the ecosystem and the natural animals that live there, from the alligators, the birds, and whatnot. So Florida's been dealing with this problem, and they have laws. You will get some serious fines and trouble if you get caught having one of these Burmese pythons as a pet without a permit. A permit would be for people like who have a wildlife shelter, stuff like that. There's special permits, but average Joe Blow can't have them. And that's why too, a lot of states have got these laws for certain types of animals that are not indigenous to the area, that there has to be special permits to have. One of the reasons, but I have the link in there, but they're not quite as big as the anaconda, but you can see this, how huge this damn snake is. And this is the engine inside the Mustang and where this big python is in. Oh, I would not like that going out to start my car and see this big thing in my car. Woo, no. Oh. Any rate, we'll do a little general conversation. Let me go over this again here for my tribute video, see if there's anyone I missed. And I want to check the bat. So it squeezed her. Yeah, yep, Tina. I could pull up. Let me do this real quick as I bring that up. Let me pull up that episode from Rescue 911. Let me go in the search bar since we were talking about it here. Okay. Oh, no, that's a python I got under a house. I'm looking for this story here. 1 second. Oh, here it is. Yeah, python babysitter. Okay, I got the link right here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this in here. So if you guys want to watch this, this is the link to it and save it. I'm going to wrap up my live here shortly, but this, I think, was the one I was talking about. I watched them a while back. Let me go to the clip here. Yeah, this is it here. I think the snake wrapped itself around her arm and just about killed her till they got there. Yeah, that's it. Now, the video's poor quality because what it is whoever uploaded this on their channel, I could tell it was recorded on that VHS video cassette or that Betamax, and they converted it over to their YouTube channel. It was a good show. I was a little kid when that show was out, Rescue 911. But anyway, on the subject of that snake. Yeah. Let me see. I just want to go through the chat here once again, everybody, before I wrap up my live broadcast. Shannon Spirit. Okay, I got you. SOPRE. Oh, what I'm going to do again tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening, I will put out the tribute video, YouTube channel tribute video. I think I'm on number 12 coming up, or 11, 12 or 13, something like that. Anyone who's here, I'm putting you in. You'll be first up. And then I do put in some other people that aren't here that regularly come and watch my live broadcast. Because, there's a lot of times, too, you guys, I might not catch your live broadcast, but I go back and true love, support, genuine YouTube channel. I'll watch your live broadcast that you did. It might be a day later. So those people I also put in as well in my YouTube channel tribute videos. And they do fairly well view-wise. I'm surprised. Some of them have been hitting over in the thousands, that YouTube channel tribute. but it's basically, it'll help give you guys some exposure, and my way of saying thanks for taking part in my live. One more thing, I got 7 people here. I mentioned this last week on my live, and I'll still put this offer out. You're here on my live. It's free. It's free. FREE. If you would like some non-copyright music to use for your YouTube channel, and I would free, no catch, no nothing. All you have to do is send me an email, and in the subject line, just type in late night show and just put music, or just put late night show. My email address is on my YouTube channel about tab. It's infospot411@yahoo.com. Just shoot me an email, put late night show music, and I'll send you 3 non-copyright songs and a bonus Halloween song. And you can use these in any YouTube video. You don't have to put in your description box an artist. You won't have a copyright strike or copyright claim. All you want, if that's something that you would like, no problem. They're in MP3 format, so I'll email them to you. So if you're interested, anybody, you want some non-copyright music, no catch, no gimmick, free of charge, just like I say, shoot me an email. I'll put it right in here, a matter of fact. Info spot 411 at Yahoo. That's, I think, how they say, yahoo.com. Here we are. Yep. Infospot401 at yahoo.com. That's the email address. So, Shane Kitchen, JA, thank you. I'm about to wrap this up here in just a few minutes. So anyway, once again, if you want some non-copyright music, free of charge, no nothing, just shoot me an email right here. Just type in late night show, and I'll send you 3 MP3 or 3 non-copyright songs in MP3 format and a bonus Halloween non-copyright song you can use. So if, sometimes as people, you're doing a video, you want a little music. Oh, you're more than welcome. I try to give back too. That brings up something else real comes to my mind quick. I notice this a lot on YouTube, and 2 people I've seen do this that I know, nobody that's here now, but I've learned with public speaking, one of the best public speakers, world renowned, Simon something's his name. But anyway, TEDx is, you can Google this, TEDx, TEDx. TEDx is where the best of the best go for public speaking, okay? And one of the things that they all share in common, it gets into givers and takers, all right? And I noticed the takers, and I could spot them just like this. And I'm being serious here. The taker is someone, I'll give you an example with YouTube relating this, is someone who does their live broadcasts and they're like, yes, you want to join and get a membership with my channel, support my channel. Okay, I get what you're doing a little bit. You're trying to generate a little money, offering something, but it's always, they're always wanting to take, and I'll notice these 2 people in particular, and I don't call their names out. That's not my point here. They don't go on other people's channels and drop comments and watch their content. And they're just there to take. And one of the things I notice is they just, like, oh, get a membership, come on my channel, come get a membership, be a supporter, but I don't see them giving back, so I noticed that when you have the givers and takers. So yeah, I always believe in being a giver as well. Now, I mean, it's not always a 50-50 thing, but people are kind enough to come on my live and support what I'm doing and show genuine love, for my channel and what I do in my life. I believe in giving back too, even if it's the minutest thing. And another example, and Servant David's talked about this as well. That's fine. Say like, share, subscribe. But I very seldom see somebody say, thank you, or I appreciate. And I say it in my videos because it is proven. When you say, subscribe to my channel, make sure you like it, share it, you're more than likely to have someone do it than if you don't say it. That part is fine. But take 1 second. or I'll say a few seconds. Okay, I don't want to exaggerate too far. Take a few seconds, whether it's at the end of your video, the start of your video, during your video, and say, which you probably notice if you watch some of my videos, and you could do it this way and it's just as effective. And I'd say this, I mean it. I say, hey, I just like to say real quick, a big, big thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. I appreciate all you guys who watch my videos, dropping those likes and comments. Thank you so much. See, I just got across, you can, I can help promote my channel, getting people to subscribe and watch and let them know, it helps me dropping likes and comments, but I'm thanking them at the same time. That's a giver. But the best people in public speaking, for example, they don't go out and say, oh, my goal, my mission is to get a standing ovation. No. What they do is say, I have something that somebody wants to know, what I can help somebody with. I have information I can give, and I want to give it the best way possible. I want to give somebody an experience like they never had before, like they're watching one of their favorite movies at the movie theater. They're experiencing one of the best things in life. And these are top people in public speaking, and that's the mentality they got. And what comes along with it is that standing ovation. And you got to be genuine what you do, what you come across. And I spot little things where I can tell who's a taker. Now, I'm not saying just because you don't say thank you, you're a taker. But I guess I want to say, what my point to you would be, everybody in my live or people watching it, that's fine. Say like, share, subscribe real quick with your channel, but make sure you say appreciate or thank you with that. Twist it in however way you want to do it. But you're there. Be a giver as well, not just a taker in life. But it's something I learned from the public speaking, and it's been quite a few people top people, well known. They get paid big money to go around and do public speaking. Dan Pink is another guy, very well known. Dan Pink, one of the best with TEDx. And that just my little rant on givers and takers. But I noticed that, I'm kind of like this with this membership thing with this YouTube, because what I notice is what people have been doing 4 or 5 months, and the minute they get it monetized and they can do this membership thing, it's like that becomes their whole life. And another thing they do is then they cater to the people like, oh, here comes a member, that's paying like $4 or $5 a month. And the members are, well, you got to forget, without these other people coming on your live and watching your content, it really doesn't mean too much. So you got to be thankful and appreciative of them as well. But I pick up on these things. Let me get to the chat. I see it going here. Sir and David, I'm doing well. So true host, and don't tell them to hit the button so you can come in. Yep. It's like going to church, and as soon as you walk in the door, they want true. Yep. Let me at least sit down first. Thank you. It's always good to show appreciation. Yes, it is, Tina. Yes, it is. And it definitely is. Yeah, that's one thing with church. I don't mind, the Catholic Church, when I was a kid, they had the basket with the long pole, and they would come around once and put it, But yeah, if you go into a church and one of the first things they do is like, hey, your tithes, or can you donate? That to me comes off the wrong way. But anyway, that's one of the things in public speaking. A lot of the best public speakers share in common, and some of that to me relates to the YouTube, as well as I've seen some people do it they approach people that way too when they first come in, and it's very disingenuous. Like, oh, I'll just make up something. Oh, it's Sam's Barbecue 2020 YouTube channel. Hey, thanks for coming on my live. Are you a member? You got to get a member, because we got some exclusive videos, and you can get custom emojis, and you keep hammering them. It's the same thing. Sometimes people come in. Why don't you at first say, hey, let them know, thank you for coming on my live, or, I appreciate you being on my live. That's basically a thank you. Before you hammer them with, hey, like up my live, like it up. They'll come. Earn somebody's like. But me and David both have talked about this before. Anyway, I think that's all I got for tonight. Like I say, I'll do the tribute video. I'll have all you guys in there tomorrow night, and then a Junkyard video Monday night. And like I say, I got you all guys here. Try to catch your stuff. Check each other out. Big thank you to everybody. Big thank you to everybody. General conversation before I end the live. Does anybody have any questions or anything or something they might want to talk about? Feel free in the chat here before I wrap things up here for the late night show, Halloween edition. If your LS is good, they're willing to hit. True. Right. Yep. Exactly, David. Yeah. If you're doing a good live stream, whatever your thing is, yeah, they'll come along. I think me and you agreed on this, David, real quick, and I preach this is, don't lose the focus. When you become a taker, you lose this focus, is focus on good content, whether they're videos or live streams. And good content is interesting content. Interesting content is content people want to come and watch, and being a genuine person and not being a taker and a giver is true. Shane Kitchen, JA, yes. And thank you very much. And congratulations too on being monetized. I love watching you. You have a very beautiful face. You're cute. You have a cute face and a beautiful personality. And I love it when you have your wine and you're doing your lives. And I enjoy your cooking videos too. David talks about serious topics, Servant David, as well as he also does some videos with humor in it as well. True. Good criticism helps. Yes. Yep. True. Yep. Good weekend. Oh, name. Now I can't pronounce you. I know you're a friend of mine. Is it from Korea or Japan? If I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to do a tribute video and I'll put you in here. Let me get you up in here. NAMWOOGI. Okay. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone. And happy Halloween. Oh, Neen Woo Ji, if I'm pronouncing it. Oh, Korea. Okay, so I take it South Korea, probably Seoul, if I'm not mistaken. Or you live near Seoul? Pretty Grills, Shaston. Can everyone type in hip hop hooray? Oh, thank you, David. Yes. Thanks. You're more than welcome. I appreciate you too. Yeah, I'm about to wrap this up. Yes. Oh, okay. So you're near Seoul, South Korea. I had some friend of mine, years back. I'm talking the 90s. They're still there. But the U.S. Army is stationed right there, and they have a big base in Korea at Seoul, and along the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone. Talking real quick, I'll bring this up if you guys you want to. Yes, yeah, U.S. Army's in South Korea. It dates back to the Korean War. I love social science, and this is a true fact. The Korean War, America's Korean War. Our war, we had the 1950s with North Korea, and then now modern day, they call it the Demilitarized Zone. They refer to it as the DMZ. The war is not over, is officially not over. All it was that was signed was an armistice, an agreement between North Korea and South Korea and the United States that no an armistice, meaning that no arms or actions would be taken up against each other. We agree, but there is no official a surrender. It was just a peaceful armistice that we will ceased, military actions with each other. But officially, the Korean War was not over. That armistice. There's a video I can show you. Oh gosh, it's on YouTube. One of these soldiers from the North Korea came across the DMZ, and he was shot at, and a few of the North Korean soldiers chased him, and they went over that DMZ line, and the South Korean soldiers came in there armed, along with the U.S. Army is there too, and they almost got in a big gunfight. Then all of a sudden he turned around and went back to the northern side. Okay, yeah. Let me pull that video up real quick if anybody's interested. Like I said earlier, fact is stranger than fiction, and fact could be scarier than fiction. But they do have tours on that DMZ. There's one building, it's jointly used by North Korea and South Korea. And what they'll do is certain times South Korea could bring in their guests and people, and the same with North Korea, and they'll lock the building. And they also meet in this building right on the DMZ where they talk. Now, the President Trump has established some good relations with Kim Jong-un, the current leader in North Korea. However, Kim Jong-un, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-il was his father. Kim Jong-un is a brutal dictator, and that's a fact. But at any rate, I don't want to get too far in that. Let me get this. This is a trip. It shows this guy going across the DMZ and getting shot at. That's one news story, but I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. Wow. Okay. 225. This is from the Today Show. This was in 2017. All right. Let me drop the link here, everybody. I just had to pull up this link. And then I'm going to end this here. 5 people. Okay. This is the video link. That's from the Today Show. There's a couple other ones in here. But it'll show it. Okay, here's another 1 minute and 18 seconds. Oh, this is the actual camera footage from the border. Let me get this. Copy. Okay, here's the actual camera footage. And I'll tell you what happens here. Is this guy is a soldier at North Korea defecting. And he takes a Jeep because he was stationed right near the DMZ border. And he drives this Jeep right up to like where the borderline is that you could cross. And literally stops it just feet short and swings the car door open. And before the North Korean soldiers can come get him, just as he gets across the border, they pull up the rifles and start shooting at this guy and get a couple shots off. And I think he gets hit once. But is the North Korean soldier crosses that line, and then he could be shot dead. You cross that line unauthorized, you can be shot dead. So the South Korean soldiers start coming up, and then they take off back. But this is real life. That's why I bring it up. That's why it's the DMZ, demilitarized zone. Anyway, if you're interested, I got the 2 links there in there. But good to see you from South Korea. Thank you for coming so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. David, yeah, it is. If you watch the second link, David, I posted, it's like 1 minute and 18 seconds. You'll see what happens. I'm more one too. I find it. I mean, I love movies and fiction, but some stuff that's, I love nonfiction books and, stuff that goes on around the world, especially when it comes social science, political science. Anyway, wow, I'm almost at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Again, 5 people are still here. Thank you, everybody, for coming. The late night show. Hope you all had a happy Halloween. I say this because I'm going to end my live here. Enjoy life and stay safe, everybody. You too, Raul. You too. Everyone have a great night, and I hope you all had a happy Halloween.